Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, James Harden, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving again, James Harden again, James Harden again. And that's just 8 of the there's got to be at least 30 players that have requested a trade within the last 5 years, because it seems like every day someone new requests a trade and they just happen to be a star caliber player. And I thought it would be fun to make my top 5 players that are most likely to either request a trade or to be traded within the next 2 years. So I hope you enjoy and like and subscribe, as I'm going to predict who's the next player to request a trade or to be traded. At 5, I have Luka Doncic, who I believe has a misconception about him when it comes to superstars requesting trades. It's really funny to me how people talk about Wembanyama and San Antonio and say that he is already connected to the organization because of previous players. I feel like people have forgotten about Luka and Dirk and how they have developed a relationship, and Dirk has already gone out to say that Luka is the best player to ever play for the Mavericks. So as much as I do not like Luka Doncic at all, as much as I think he is a diva type player, I do not think he's going to request a trade, and I think he's in a Mavericks jersey for the long run. You also have to remember that foreign players tend to stay loyal. Like if you look at Giannis, Jokic, Embiid for the most part, you go back in history, like Dirk, he stayed Mavericks his whole career. Like they're gonna play for those teams their whole career. Now Giannis might be a different story, but who knows? Only time will tell. But Jokic is never leaving the Nuggets, and I don't think Luka's ever leaving the Mavericks. At least he won't for another couple of years. So he's 5th on this list because I wanted to mention that. The 4th player might get traded as soon as I drop this video, because Toronto likes to keep everything they are doing under the radar. So Pascal Siakam is number 4 on my list. I think Toronto seriously needs to look themselves in the mirror and ask themselves the question, can we win with our roster right now? And evidently that answer is no. I think they really need to let Scottie Barnes cook. Scottie Barnes had a great rookie year, even won the Rookie of the Year, then had a sophomore slump, as many will call it. A big reason, in my opinion, for that slump is because this Toronto team is driven on competing right now and winning right now. And that's just going to stall Scottie Barnes' development and prevent him from reaching his ceiling as soon as possible. Now, my comparison for Scottie Barnes has always been Ben Simmons with work ethic, and no matter how much work he puts in, and a team with no shooters and a team that's trying to compete right now, there's no way he'll reach his ceiling. And the way to get him to reach his ceiling is to start by rebuilding and taking a step back for a year or two, letting him develop and be the point guard of the future, because I believe he's a point guard. And the best way for Toronto to do that is to trade Siakam. So I think Siakam needs to be traded, in my opinion. If you can make a serious argument on why Zion is still on the Pelicans, please let me know. The Pelicans are a one option away from being a serious contender, and we all keep saying, oh, if Zion was healthy, they would be fine. When are you going to accept the fact that he is never going to be healthy? He just doesn't love the game of basketball, and he doesn't want to play. And if he does ever want to play, he doesn't want to play in New Orleans. He wants to be in New York. He wants to be in LA. That's just who Zion is. Start accepting that fact. All right? Zion needs to be traded from this Pelicans roster, and you're not going to change my mind. Now, the fact that they didn't trade him to get into the top 3 to draft Scoot Henderson is very alarming, and that's why he's at 3 and not number 1. He should not be on the Pelicans right now or anymore. They need to trade him. Trade him to New York. He's always wanted to be there. He's always wanted to be drafted there. Just get him off your team, please. You're literally number 1 option away. But again, he's number 3, not number 1, because New Orleans isn't going to do it within the next 2 years, I don't think. I have seen so many Karl-Anthony Towns mock trades and rumors, so I have him at 2 because I think there is a high chance of him not being on the Timberwolves next year. However, this isn't bold enough for me to put at 1, but it's almost too likely to not be in the top 2. However, I really do hope that Karl-Anthony Towns is not traded to the Knicks, because the Knicks would be screwing the pooch on that one. I am predicting it. I don't know how bold you may think it is, but it's going to happen within the next 2 years. At some point, every player reaches a point where they'll crack and say, this situation isn't good for me. I need to get out. Damian Lillard just requested a trade from the Portland Trail Blazers, and he loves Portland more than Joel Embiid will ever love Philadelphia. I get it. Embiid loves Philly. Embiid will never want to leave Philly. But if you look at it, he's dealt with James Harden and Ben Simmons in the past 4 years now, is it? He's getting sick and tired of it. Because of James Harden's third trade request, it looks like Philly won't be able to get any star talent around Embiid to be a second option. So it looks like Maxey will be the second option. Tyrese Maxey is great, but he still has a long way to go before he can be the second option on a team trying to win a title. The time it will take for Maxey might end up being after Joel Embiid's prime, and this is why Embiid will want out. Embiid has been through a lot in Philly, and as fans of the NBA, we should let him slide with a trade request the same way we are letting Beal and Dame slide. It's been a long time coming, but Joel Embiid is going to request a trade soon. And that is my video, and that is my prediction on who will request a trade next. Let me know if there's any other video ideas you want, but I'm going to be grading every team's off season, and let me know what team you want me to do first. But as always, this has been Bold Hoops with Jay Hoopa, even though we might just be changing the channel to Jay Hoopa here soon. So let me know what you think, but have a good one. Bye.